Who the F are you?
Bitch, you don't know me?
I don't, but you know what time it is?
It's
Drag Race time! Oh! Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of my review of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 13, Episode 12, finally. And I am here with my dearest of dear friends, my sister, Midnite Snax.
Hi! This is my first time in drag, thanks to Miss Glitter Gal over here, and I think she did a pretty good job. Look at this wig. I picked it up.
I know. I kind of feel like you don't even look like...
I don't look like myself.
You
I
don't.
Actually am looking at this, and I'm seeing...
The camera's here. Stop looking at your own reflection.
Oh, I want to. People are going to watch this video and be like, why is she looking off to the side? Because I want to look at me. I mean, is this the transformative effect of drag? I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I know that people can't really find you anywhere, right?
No, I have no social media presence. I'm actually not even sure if Midnite Snax is a good drag name. But if it were a drag name that I would have, it would be spelled incorrectly for both words. So it would be like Midnite and then Snax, because I don't eat food at midnight.
Okay. So today we are talking about the roast episode. I don't know. I'm ready to talk about it. How do you feel?
Let's go. Let's chat.
Let's get into it. So we start the episode. They are walking back into the workroom and Tina Burner has exited the show. The fire has been put out. Utica is acting very sad and shook that she sent Tina home. She's like, oh, she should be here instead of me. But then on the same, like literally the same sentence, she's like,
I'm so glad.
Right. Like, oh my God, I beat Tina Burner. Like, wait, how?
Am I a lip sync assassin? She touches her face.
Oh, she does do that a lot. You know, the next day they walk into the workroom and mini challenge time. And I actually think this might be my very favorite mini challenge they've ever had.
They did a really good job, and all of the pairs that they paired up were really great together.
Yeah,
especially Utica. Like, I know this wasn't a great episode for Utica overall, but her with her like noodle arms.
Yeah.
Especially being behind, someone as tiny as Mick was like perfect. That was a perfect combination. I feel like they should have won because as soon as Mick ate the powder, I was like, oh fuck! Like
she's like, and now I'm tasting it.
But like, Rosé is like naturally funny, as we find out later in the episode. So I think honestly, Rosé's just commentary probably just really won over.
Yeah, I feel like the way Rosé was actually doing it like a makeup tutorial, the way she was talking, I think was what sold it. Mm-hmm. And Rosé end up winning, and they get to actually pick the order for the main challenge, which is a roast. We've had a couple of roasts in RuPaul's Drag Race history, and this time we are not roasting Michelle or Ru or Lady Bunny. We are roasting
the Miss Congeniality winners. Just a random assortment of recent Miss Congenialities.
Yeah. So
why not?
We're calling it the Nice Girl Roast. So Candy and Rosé get together and they start going over how they think the show should go. And Candy and Rosé both feel like in order to keep the show going, they're going to be in the beginning and the end. And they're going to got Mick right in the middle. And then I think they put Simone after. So it's Candy, Simone, Utica, Mick, Olivia, Rosé. They are all writing their jokes, whatever else, and then they have to go into practice for the jokes. And this is where I think we start to see how the show's gonna go. Before we jump into them practicing, I did want to mention one thing. So as they're writing their jokes and things like that they're gonna tell, Utica and Olivia are kind of going back and forth over the jokes that they're writing down, and Utica tells Olivia, to her face, oh yeah, you're gonna do great, or whatever. And then straight up, they edited it right afterwards to where, like, her talking head was, I'm really worried about Olivia. Like, I mean, I know they've had this talk in Untucked and stuff about Utica being shady and doing this kind of stuff, but, like, what? Yeah,
it's a little fake. I mean, it comes across that way as a little bit fake.
A little bit fake. That's like fake. That's fake. Like, I thought Utica was supposed to be the miscongeniality of this season. Like,
Utica is an interesting person, at least how she's portrayed on Drag Race, because I obviously don't know her in person, but she takes, like, weird drag queen to, like, a completely different level. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, I've loved her runways. Like, her, you never really know what's going to come around the corner of the runway stage.
Yeah, I mean, that sleeping bag look was like...
Oh, yeah, and that was underappreciated. Like, that might be one of the best looks of the entire season, and the
series. Like, that was amazing.
Yeah, and she made that.
They're in front of Lonnie and Michelle, and I think, like, Simone, they give her some pointers about her jokes because she seems to be, like, really over-explaining everything that she's doing, and nothing really is funny.
And, yeah, she does, like, the, thanks for having me, or whatever, from Hocus Pocus, and it's like, is that the joke? Is the joke being Hocus Pocus?
The joke is that you said hello.
Yeah.
Anyway, but then Mick got pretty good. Like, okay, you have some funny jokes, just work on it. Rosé, of course, got stunning reviews. Olivia, I think. I mean, what did they tell her to just like?
Oh, I kind of forgot how her thing went.
I can only think about how her actual stand-up went. But, okay, so, again, here we are. This episode was all about Utica. Because, did Utica listen to anything they said? Like, in their little review practice round or whatever, she said some of the same jokes that she said on her actual roast. But, like, okay, the first one where she's like, oh, that's a movie, Michelle. And Michelle's like, I know I have kids. And she's like, yeah, you look like you do.
Yeah, it was really weird. Like, she said her, like, piece. She said her roast. And then when they gave her a critique, she kept going. I'm like, you're done with that, with your joke. Don't specifically insult Michelle. Oh, you look like you have kids.
They even told her, they were like, okay, whoa, this is a little mean. And she's like, oh, what, do you know Dumbo too? Like,
yeah, to Lonnie, like you're making a really awkward joke about weight, and okay, I guess we can talk more about this during the actual discussion of the roast, but like for them to give feedback and then for her to like keep going, like you're not in joke mode anymore, so maybe don't keep calling Lonnie fat. I just like looking at myself trying to drink this and talk. Because it doesn't look like me. This isn't going in the video, so I don't have to give a shit about.
So we're back into the workroom, and they're all getting ready for the main challenge. And while they're getting ready, they're kind of like reading each other. There's a couple of good jabs, you know, at Olivia's lace.
Yeah,
Rosé is super quick-witted. I actually have a Rosé impression. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, do it.
Baby. Anyway, are you ready to get to the runway?
We're ready to get to the runway.
Bring it to the runway. We've got our judges panel. So here is RuPaul and Michelle and Ross this time and Lonnie. And they are all looking sparkly and beautiful as ever. But can we talk about this look from RuPaul?
She's wearing a bodysuit. With her whole legs out.
Even like a little bathing suit. Yeah. And entire leg. It's not like a little short dress. Entire leg with like a tulle poof.
And her wig was fluorescent. It was bright.
Yeah.
And she looked very nice, I think.
There was no runway theme, because apparently there's no runway themes on roast episodes.
Except for one.
Candy is opening the show. She is up here first. And first of all, let's talk about how she looks.
She looked fucking amazing. She looked like she couldn't breathe, but...
Is this the best Candy's ever looked? Is this the best Candy's ever looked?
I think so. She took her organs and she shoved them right into
like they went up into the rib cage so she could pull this off.
Down into the.
She was a woman, but
and her dress and her wig were both amazing.
oh my god, she looked so good.
Yeah.
Her makeup was right, the dress was right, the body was right, like she looked great. Let's jump into her roast and talk about some of our favorite jokes. Like,
God, I have to remember some of them. I know she had a whole bunch.
She did. She opened the show real strong.
Was she the one who said the stadium joke? Like,
she was
oh yeah, drag, the Olympics of drag, but you're the stadium or whatever. And this is something we can talk about when we get to Utica, about how to say a commentary on somebody's physical appearance.
But yeah, she had really good jokes for everybody. I don't think there was anything Candy said that I was just like, ooh, that didn't work, because she even, I don't know. I think that comes with being self-aware. Like, she knew what jokes were working, what jokes didn't, and it was just a really strong opening. I think she got laughs almost on every single joke she told.
I think so, yeah. And she didn't, she took the judge's advice and didn't say the C word. She cut it out. She grew as a person and as a comedian.
Next up was Simone wearing this gold.
Yeah, she looked amazing, as she typically always does.
Simone never hits that runway looking less than perfect.
Yeah, but I think she was in her head a little too much.
Simone is definitely one of those, and this is what I fear for Simone, especially after seeing the clip of like what's up next week, is that Simone has been so strong this whole time that like the level of disappointment that comes to herself when she doesn't do perfect is like killing her. Yeah. Simone's very first joke she puts out there gets a little bit of laughs, but that's it.
It's one of those get in your head problems.
She was definitely in her head, and it was, to me, it reminded me very much like Pheromone. Like, she was like, okay, next joke,
Yeah.
Like,
And it's gotta be hard. Like, I don't blame him. I don't blame anyone for
really, whoever went next should have been able to kill it. Unfortunately.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
That person was Utica.
Here we go. Time to talk about the Utica roast of nobody.
Utica's roast was just as cringy as the practice round, if not more.
I think Utica's, she had her, like, ideas. She just didn't know how to turn them into jokes. Like, you can say something, well, I don't know if saying something about somebody's weight isn't always funny, but, like, she was doing like weird jokes, but
yeah, honestly, I think if I was Lonnie Love after listening to Utica, I would have gone home and cried, which is why it didn't surprise me when the actual show comes and she's like taking a jab at Lonnie, and Lonnie's like, oh, but you're the one failing.
And it kind of like everybody screamed, because you're kind of cheering for Lonnie at that point, because like
you spent the episode for Lonnie.
We spent the episode with Utica kind of digging into Lonnie's, like,
too much. It was too much.
Yeah. It's not that like Utica's jokes were coming from a place of like malice or anything. It's just that she didn't know how to make them jokes.
And really. I don't think they were coming from a place of malice, but I don't think she understood completely how to connect it to people. Like,
and then in Untucked, I think she even admitted it. She was like, I go to a place of offense when I get like anxious or something. And I'm like, oh, that's not,
because like her read for Heidi was like beyond cringy. Like when she said because Heidi's, her gap tooth and bull semen, full of bull semen.
Oh yeah. And what does that mean? Like
Heidi's like, wait, what? Like,
what does that mean? Like, you have gap teeth and you have sex with bulls?
No, stop. No. Oh my gosh, how could we forget the one part of Utica's, like, iconic meme status? Here it goes, because Utica tried to get RuPaul to stand up.
Yeah, everybody was laughing about the clapback that Lonnie had against Utica, and then Utica was like, oh, you like that, RuPaul? Well, why don't you stand up? You're such a fashionista. And RuPaul flipped her off. You're not gonna tell RuPaul to stand up so you can like say some shit. Like, where was that even going? I can't imagine where that was going. I don't know what kind of joke Utica had lined up for that. If that was just like off the cuff, but
I bet you Utica will never tell. Got Mick comes after Utica, and this could really be, like, for me, the first thing I thought of is, if I was following Utica, I would be like, well, I'm not going home tonight. Like, that would be my joke. Yeah. But she actually comes out and she's like, how am I ever going to follow that?
And then she makes this UTI joke, which I'm pretty sure she had pre-planned, but it hits all the harder.
Yes.
After the
awkwardness that was Utica. Yeah. Gottmik actually did pretty good. I honestly don't think there was many ways she could have done bad after Utica, but like,
yeah,
she had good jokes. They were timed well.
Gottmik is somebody who like thinks they're going to do bad in all these comedy challenges, including, you know, Snatch Game. And then it's like, oh, wow, I won.
Oh, I'm pretty good.
Oh, I'm funny.
Honestly, maybe that's...
Gorge, I'm so funny.
That's, honestly, too, though, being humble is a good thing.
Yeah.
After Gottmik is Olivia.
Olivia Lux, who starts out her set...
okay, first of all, I agree with RuPaul. Like, the way she walked out was weird. And then right when she gets... She's, like, wearing this... Yeah. She's wearing this like little sunset dress. She comes out. She has like this weird like little scooty walk. And at first, like, so I thought she was going to play a character. Like she was playing this like little kid, I'm so cute and innocent character.
Yeah.
But I also, is that what she was doing?
Well, like she started in like her own voice and then she kind of got like some sort of reaction and then switched to this extremely cutesy voice. But I think it's because she started with her own voice. Sort of, that it didn't, I don't know, it was just really awkward. And her look didn't really reflect that she was trying to do some cutesy little kid. Like,
no,
like blue.
And she was
like make
attached,
it like pink or something.
She was attached to those cards. Like, even like, she was like, Valentina's eyebrows, they're like counting the rings. 1, 2, I was like, you have to read numbers off of your cards. Like, you can't like, be like, oh, Valentina's eyebrows got the Joker hand. Now I'm going to look up and read it. Like, ending the show is Rosé. And Rosé in this, like, super cool, like, 80s wig and this silver jacket and these silver pants. And I thought she looked really cool.
Yeah, her look was amazing.
Yeah. And, you know, hey, Rosé drinking game.
Are we clinking?
Yeah. That's what we do.
Rosé! Rosé! It's Rosé time!
And cheer to Rosé.
This isn't Rosé. I'm revealing secret.
Rosé's jokes are really strong, and she honestly doesn't use the cards at all. To me, it was very reminiscent of Bianca Del Rio. She was just like a natural.
And when you go back to their like pre-roast, getting their makeup done or whatever, the way that Rosé kind of like has really natural clapbacks to Olivia's commentary, I think shows that Rosé is just a naturally funny person.
Yeah.
She didn't really need the cards because she knew what she was going to say anyway.
Yeah. And even if somebody threw something at her, she could just like, with it. Because she's very quick-witted. She thinks on her feet. Like, she's just one of those people.
Like, I think this episode's going to be remembered a lot for the Utica flop. But I think it should also be acknowledged that throughout the entire thing, Rosé really killed it. She killed it with her looks. She killed it with the mini challenge and with the maxi challenge.
Yeah, Rosé just knows how to give really good commentary. She would be a great host of anything. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, Rosé is one of those ones in the beginning of this season, I didn't really peg her for much. And now I look at her and I'm like, I could see her winning it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be upset.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely would love if Simone or Mick won. But if Rosé came out, I'd be like, well, that makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Rosé at least makes sense.
Rosé has really had like one of those like storylines that she was kind of like a background character, and now here she is, you know, so it's pretty good.
She's the only pork chop queen who's left.
Oh, we haven't gotten to elimination, but you are right. Rosé is it. So speaking of the winner of this challenge is, for the look and the comedy, Candy Muse.
And how crazy for an episode where everybody was talking poo-poo on her for not winning a challenge. Oh, here she comes being like, I got this.
I'm a winner.
I'm funnier than you, and I looked good.
Yeah.
So stop saying I can't win a maxi challenge because I just did. And
you know, maybe the moral of this season is going to be, like, not just...
Don't underestimate or overestimate anybody in the competition, because...
Bottom two queens this episode, I agree, rightfully so, is definitely 100% Utica, and I don't think it would have mattered who Utica went up against.
Yeah, they put Simone in the bottom.
Did you think, just to ask, throwing this out there, but did you think that Simone could have been interchanged with Olivia? Like it could have been Utica and Olivia instead of Utica and Simone.
I think it would have depended on the judge's interpretation, but yeah, I think so because they both got like.
I honestly was kind of ready for like we have a bottom 3 because Olivia didn't.
I don't know.
They lip sync. What did you think of the lip sync?
I thought the lip sync was inconsequential to the outcome because it, again, like I said earlier, unless that's not in this video, it doesn't matter how the performances would have gone. Like, we know both Simone and Utica are great performers. But if Ru had sent Simone home, I think she knew how powerful a lot of Simone's runways have been, how generally, like, Simone has won 4 challenges. Utica has won 1 that was linked with Simone. So to be like, oh, well, Utica did a better lip sync, and that ultimately is what sent Simone home would have been terrible television. And ultimately, that's kind of the goal here, regardless of, like, you can be super talented, but it's TV.
I mean, and even so, like, I honestly would have been fine if there was no lip sync at all because Utica's roast was so cringy and bad. Yeah, so that was our episode. No more Utica.
Bye-bye, Utica. I can't
fun.
wait to see the rest of your looks on Instagram because I'm sure they're all fantastic.
For the 4 episodes left. I mean,
this has been a long season.
It really has, and we still have 4 more to go, which makes me wonder, is it going to be a top 3 or top 4? Because we can't do a big show. COVID's still a thing.
Nope. Season 12 and season 13.
Anyway, I appreciate you all being here and watching my lovely review so much. Thank you so much for being here. It has been super fun. And, of course, I would love you all to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Subscribing doesn't cost anything. Absolutely free. And it means so much to me. Every episode I do ask a trivia question, and that's not going to change right now. So this week's trivia prize is actually a Chipotle gift card.
Chipotle? I am so ambivalent about Chipotle. What's your Chipotle order?
I like the chips and guacamole. Anyway.
Good choice. Okay. In all of Drag Race history, which season had a roast, but also a separate runway challenge? And what was that challenge called?
Put your answer below in the comments. Win a prize, eat at Chipotle. Chipotle. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
That was so much fun.
Oh my gosh. I drank so much rosé.
And how do you feel about being in drag for the very first time?
I like to look at myself and not at the camera, and I think that means it was a success.
You think you'll ever be doing drag again?
I don't know. Give me your feedback. If you like this, maybe I'll do it again. Maybe Midnite Snax will be an actual thing. That all depends on you, because I love feedback. Like everybody else.
Cynthia Doll will be here next week. I'll be like, hey, I might have you a new contestant for Drag Survivor.
That's a lot of money. I don't know if I can do it.
Anyway.
When I'm doing this, it's actually me saying, no, I don't know.
Anyway, okay, it is time to get out of Geesh and, or, hey, see what we're going to do the rest of the day and day. Or hey,
evening. This took a while.
Hey, see what we're going to do the rest of the night. Anyway, thank you so much, and as always, peace out. Love you lots. Bye.
Happy season 13.